Yeah, I thought that would be like wicked fucking obvious.
No, dude, it's not. People are so
Will
high.
Fuller this week.
You're listening to Let's Talk Fantasy Football, where men of fantasy genius have realized, hey guys, we don't need real football skills to dominate on the fantasy field. Yeah. So slap on your pads and grab your helmet. Shit's about to get real.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Let's Talk Fantasy Football. I'm your host tonight for part 2 of the Week 8 preview. My name is Nick Walsh, and I am here with, I ran out of introductions for you, man. I'm sorry. I'm here with Vinny Gonzalez. What's up, dude?
Oof, bummer. My self-esteem is crushed for this podcast.
I couldn't think of shit, dude. I'm sorry.
Just go to the usual, man. My lovely and talented, beautiful.
My lovely and talented, beautiful co-host, Vinny Gonzalez.
Big donged.
Just real big donged co-host. Vinny Gonzalez. Anyway, we're here to do part 2 of the Week 8 preview. Before we do, though, right after talking about my big donged co-host, we're going to give a quick shout out to BenchBoss. They're the revolutionary app that allows you to play fantasy football live while watching the game on TV. You can predict the plays, the results of the play, and literally play fantasy football. You can sign up for the beta now by going to letstalkfantasyfootball.com/benchboss. You guys can also make sure you are liking, subscribing, reviewing, whatever you need to do to the podcast, and checking out the apps. If you're a listener, you know where they are. They're on the Android or whatever store that is. I don't know. I don't have an Android. Or the iTunes store. So either one of those, they are free apps. They are pretty useful. Make sure you're checking them out. Vinny, we got 6 games here for week 2. Week 8, not week 2. This is part 2. Good start, asshole. Anyway, let's get right into the first game and start with the Indianapolis Colts at your Cincinnati Bengals. For probably the only time all year, the Bengals are a double-digit favorite. They're a 10.5-point favorite. That over-under is 42. The Colts' implied point total is the worst of the week, worse even than the 49ers, 15.75. It's not a good implied point total. Vinny, start me off with the Bengals side of the ball. Joe Mixon or bust?
Hell yeah. I just hope the coaching staff gives it to him. Like, I don't know if you have any stock in Mixon or watched the Bengals-Steelers game last week, but he was torching them. Every carry he got went for like 12 yards. I think he averaged 12 actually, and saw no carries in the second half. They abandoned everything, and it was just back to watching like the old Bengals. Like they were just, it was awful, dude. And it was pretty much, I think they took him out because he wasn't doing well in pass protection. They bring in Hill and Gio, and they don't do any better. And I don't understand why they just totally abandoned the run. It was like 14-10. Or whatever the fuck it was. It might have been tied. I don't even remember. But Mixon has to get a huge game going against the Colts here. If they're huge favorites, I just see them being up by a lot. They got to get Mixon his breakout game. I think it happens here.
I think so too. I mean, the idea is that they'll be up enough where pass protection hopefully won't matter as much, and they can just hand the ball off to him, let him do what he does, and get down the field and get in the end zone. We talked about Dalton a little bit on the last podcast and how we view him as, pretty much the primary streamer this week. What do you think about him, his prospects, and then, the rest of the pass catchers for Cincinnati?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got to be stream of the week for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. AJ Green, must play. The only other pass catcher I would play is probably Tyler Kroft.
You're in on Tyler Kroft?
I am, just because Brandon LaFell, unpredictable. Tyler Boyd might not even play. John Ross will be active, hopefully, but
interesting.
I don't see him being, heavily relied upon or catching a long touchdown, if that makes sense. Like if the game script goes well, they'll use Green, they'll use Mixon, they'll use Kroft, and then maybe he'll get a couple chances to run some kind of gadget play or go deep on a couple this is the first game he'll be fully ready to go, because when they rushed him back for that Texan game, came out, ran a jet sweep, had a huge gain, and then fumbled and then got hurt again. So they'll probably want to ease him into the system. So I'm out on Ross, and I think really the only guy I would bet on other than Green is Croft in the passing game.
I kind of like that. You mentioned in the last podcast that Nick O'Leary, you would play him over Jared Cook as a streamer. Would you play Croft over Nick O'Leary?
I would not, because of the same reasons where the matchup is better for Nick O'Leary and he gets more targets than Croft. Like with Croft, you're betting on the matchup, and he's been getting somewhere like four targets a game and a touchdown, or not a touchdown. So you're banking on him landing that touchdown, and the upside is definitely there for that to happen in this game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Nick O'Leary is probably the better play there. Let's move to the Indy side of the ball. I don't want to play anyone.
Yeah.
Maybe Marlon Mack, maybe T.Y.
I think we answered a question, I think a couple of days ago, where someone had like a problem with like really bad running backs, and Marlon Mack was one of them. And I said, you should take him off just like big play upside. If you're in like one of those situations, like, yeah, you can do that because he could possibly break a big play at any time. T.Y. Hilton, I would avoid it like all costs, but you might not be able to, man. Completely on it. Like you might not.
Yeah,
you might
not be able to. It
sucks because Pac-Man Jones is going to be back too, even though with like a cracked back or whatever the fuck he's dealing with. So that takes it down another notch.
They're gonna have to pass the ball because they're probably going to be down. So it's not the worst play you can make, but that's about it, right? It's like Marlon Mack and T.Y. Hilton as like if you have to type plays, and that's it.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm taking the Bengals.
Me too. Woo.
All right, Chargers at Patriots. Patriots are a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 48. Let's start on the Chargers side of the ball. What do you think about Phillip?
Love Phillip. I'm playing Phillip over Matt Ryan this week in our league, actually.
I like that a lot. I think that's the correct call.
Yeah.
And then I guess the question past that becomes, well, let's talk about his pass catchers first, and then we'll get into the rest of the situation. I love Hunter Henry this week. Am I wrong on that?
No. So, yeah, Hunter Henry I think is I don't want to say it because I feel like it'll backfire, but like an every week starter now that he's getting,
he is.
Yeah, he's finally running routes, getting targets, doing stuff that fantasy tight ends should be doing. So I think I even talked with Matt last week, changing my tune on Henry after his couple bust games,
which I think was understandable because now he's actually getting the work.
Yeah, now that he's getting like that guaranteed, like, oh, we should use you in the passing game. We're kind of stupid for not doing that. So. Especially in this game, against the Patriots, they just lost Hightower for a couple more weeks. Actually, I think the season now, torn pectoral, I believe. So he'll be gone. So that opens up the run game as well. But over the middle, Hunter Henry, man, great play.
Yeah, I'm into Hunter Henry. I'm very into Keenan Allen, as always, pretty much. And do you have any interest in Tyrell or Travis Benjamin here?
Maybe Benjamin, but. Like that's.
I was going to say maybe Tyrell.
Yeah, I can't do that because like
see, they're both dart throws. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting about Mike Williams too.
Yeah, see, like Williams take away from each other. So I think like they don't possess that like he'll catch a bomb maybe potential, which would be what I would want to bank on if I was playing any of those three.
Okay, that's fair. And then let's talk about the backfield. Melvin Gordon is questionable. He's been playing hurt all year, basically. Also worth noting, Brandon Oliver is going to be back this week. So those of you who maybe had like Austin Eckler as a play, it's tough because he's been getting work when Brandon Oliver's been hurt. Gordon, who knows what's going to happen? I don't know what to make of this.
I think if Gordon's active, he has a chance to be RB1 this week because New England can't stop anybody. They just lost Hightower, like I said. It frees up everything. Like they're going to get.
I'm afraid of him being like not a decoy active, but just like he's playing fucking hurt, man.
Kind of like the Broncos game last week.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, yeah, it's tough. I mean, he's he's a good play if he goes. I'll give you that. I'll certainly give you that.
I mean, you have to play him, so.
Yeah. If he doesn't go, do you want either of the backups? And if so, which one?
That is tough. I think it's got to be Oliver, though. If he's back and fully healthy, it'll be Oliver.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I'd rather stay away from the situation entirely, but you might not be able to. There's 6 teams on the bye, so who knows? Let's talk about New England. The running back situation has gotten weird where now Dion Lewis seems like he's the head of the thing. Rex Burkhead is getting some carries as well. For me, it's Lewis, and I think James White might catch like 18 passes this week. But
yeah, I like Dion Lewis as like play him no matter what, I think now, because they're willing to get him involved over Gillislee especially. So I like him now going forward. And then James White has been a PPR play since day one this season. So
I really think he might go off this week, like really hard.
He absolutely should.
The Chargers pass rush is really good and their secondary is really good. And that leaves James White in the middle. So
yes, I completely agree. Like he, like you said, could catch 16 passes. Super Bowl-esque, but he's a great play. And I think the only bad plays week to week out of this backfield so far are Gillislee and Burkhead. Like we saw Burkhead eat on like a drive or two, but that's just the Patriots being the Patriots, like riding the hot hand when whatever they throw the guy in. So don't worry about that shit. Do what we said.
Yeah, pretty much. Passing game, Amendola, I don't know if he's going to play. He was hurt going into this week.
Last I saw, he's good to go.
Okay. So then in terms of Cooks, Hogan, Amendola, Gronk, I mean, obviously Gronk and Hogan, right? And then what's your read on the rest of it?
You don't like Cooks?
Yeah, no, you're right. Obviously Cooks too. And pretty much, you know what, fuck it, just play all of them again.
I was going to say, Amendola hasn't been great the last couple weeks. He doesn't really he plays like 46% of snaps. And I feel like his best games have been when somebody's missing. So until I think there's an injury, like they use him on third downs a lot, like as a go-to, which is weird because if you're going to him on third down when he's the most trusted guy, why wouldn't you want him there all the time? But obviously they have a lot of talent and they're the Patriots, so they do whatever the fuck they want. But he's kind of becoming that guy who I'm fine with leaving on my bench, like unless there's an injury to one of the main pass catchers there.
Okay, that's fair. I'm a little worried because Casey Hayward's generally been a shadow guy. I'm a little worried about him against Cooks because I would think if he's going to shadow anyone, he's going to shadow Cooks, and he's been shutting people down this year. So that's slightly worrisome to me. But
I could also see that going Hogan's way too.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know who people view as the number one wide receiver there. Or, you know, like who the Chargers defense is like, this is the guy we need Hayward to shadow, or maybe they're just going to have him play aside this week.
He could be on fucking Gronk for all we know.
That's also kind of possible. He used to be a slot corner when he was in Green Bay, so it's definitely possible. I guess we'll see. I guess the point there is I don't really know. Like normally it's obvious who Hayward is going to shadow with the Patriots. I don't think it is obvious.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of chess going on in this one, so it should be a great game though, dude. I'm the most excited for this one
of all the games this week.
Yeah, definitely this one. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Who are you taking in this one?
I'm going to go with the Chargers in the upset.
Right. I'll go Patriots. I'll eat the chalk on that one if you're going to pick the upset. But I like that. I like that call, dude. Philip's got a big hose.
Big hosed Philip.
Next game here, Houston at Seattle. Seattle's a 6.5-point favorite. The over-under is 45.5. Deshaun Watson's been a fantasy stud this year. I don't think I want to start him this week.
Oh, dude, I was worried that you were going to say you would, and we'd have like a fight, but I'm so with you. So with you.
I mean, I'd rather play Dalton. I'd rather play Keenum, maybe.
Oh, no. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. Derek Carr for sure.
Derek Carr, Andy Dalton. It's just I don't think people are as scared as they should be. It's like the cockiness out of Watson owners is astronomical right now. Like it is through the roof. I mean, it should be. He's been putting up. All right. His matchups have been cake. And now he's going to get like stonewalled big time. He's going in to Seattle. They're the best.
I mean, like a rookie quarterback trying to like call audibles at the line in Seattle. Like just the one thing that gives me pause is his running ability, because that's what'll save him if like something is going to save him, is the fact that he'll just scramble for like a 30-yard touchdown or something.
Yes. Point in case, his only rough matchup was his first start against the Bengals. And he got a 40-yard touchdown. Exactly. Yes. So he had a great day fantasy-wise, and he broke a big play, like you just said. So that, like, the floor is there, but like the stuff I've been hearing from people is just like, oh, fucking every week starter. Like, dude, you got to look at this. Like, this is the worst matchup.
Yeah, he's going into normal Seattle.
Yeah, like, dude, people didn't want to play Aaron Rodgers week 1 against Seattle, and now you're just like swinging your dick in my face with Watson. Like, get out of here, dude. He's not going to have a great game unless he breaks a big play like that.
Yeah, you're banking on a touchdown run or just, that sort of thing.
Yes.
That being said, you still got to play Hopkins.
You do, but
just for the target share, but temper expectations.
Big time.
What about the backfield?
I think Miller, you have to play. I know you've been harping on that Seattle's very beatable from their rush defense standpoint.
And Miller's also their pass catching back too. So
yeah, and Foreman really hasn't taken off in the way that I thought it would go at all. And Miller's kind of just, maintaining his job. So I think he's an every week start. It's kind of like the Carlos Hyde situation. Like, you got to play him every week, even though it might burn you, every so often, but he's still a must play.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Did you have anyone else in the pass game that you wanted to talk about?
I just wanted to mention Will Fuller, and I think like a lot of people would be playing him, and I think he's a very safe sit.
Yeah, I thought that would be like wicked fucking obvious.
No, dude, it's not. People are so high.
Will Fuller this week. I mean, like, if you're playing him, you're banking on a deep touchdown. Like, that's it. You're banking on a big play.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like, he's not getting targets. His ratio of touchdowns to targets is like close to 50%. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
If he catches a touchdown, dude, it's over. Like, I will kill myself. It's over, dude.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Buy your tickets now.
No, I didn't even think that had to be mentioned.
It definitely does, dude.
I thought Will Fuller was like an obvious sit.
Man, the stuff I've been hearing so much shit about, like, just people, like, the cockiness coming out of like people owning any Texan is crazy. They're not.
It's been like insanely unsustainable stuff and great matchups.
Yeah, I know. And then like their schedule isn't that great coming up, and it's like you said, unsustainable. No one's. The only predictable guy right now is Hopkins. So
yeah, exactly, because he's getting like 14 targets a game.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of this is so unsustainable. It's gonna kill a lot of people on like the back end of the season who are just like, fuck it, every week starter. Will Fuller's gonna win me my league. No, dude, you gotta realize what's going on. Like, look past all that stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on to the Seattle side of the ball. What do you think about Russ this week?
Love him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you got to play Russ week in,
week out.
Big
fucking fan.
I'm a huge fucking fan of Russell Wilson.
I'm in on Baldwin and Graham as well. I don't know how you feel about them.
Yes, love Baldwin. He's doing his typical, like, all right, I'm ready after the bye, ready to crush like the back 7 games. He's ready to rock. And then, Jimmy Graham, every week start. You just gotta they'll utilize him at the goal line. He could have crazy good target games. Sometimes he won't, but you got to throw him out there.
Do you have any interest in Paul Richardson or Tyler Lockett?
It's such a 50-50. I'm kind of out on both, but if I did have to play one, it'd be Lockett for the big play.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I agree, but I would be on Richardson.
That's why it's a 50-50. It's preference.
Yep, it is what it is. And then in this backfield, CJ Prosise, I think, is not likely to play. I know there was talk that he might come back this week. If you had to pick one of the three between Rawls, Lacey, McKissick. Who are you playing?
It's fucked up, but I think it's Lacey.
I think it's Rawls, so that shows how stupid it is. But
we've been splitting on these perfectly, nailing the situation every time.
Yeah, we're basically illustrating that you're flipping a fucking coin playing any of these guys.
The thing with Rawls for me, if we have to explain this any further than we need to, is he had a fumble issues last week, and I don't know. Pete Carroll's a psycho, so maybe he'll just give him 20 carries. I don't fucking know, but
maybe it's fucking J.D. McKissick, man.
No, stop that shit. No, stop.
I don't think Lacey's bad, dude.
I know he's bad. I just said
Rawls is good.
He's all right. He's not good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have to make that decision, but Jesus.
Yeah. No, I think we've illustrated all that we need to illustrate. We're going to hear from our friends at BenchBoss real quick, and we'll be right back with the last 3 games of the week.
This year, dominate your friends with free play-by-play fantasy football from BenchBoss. BenchBoss is the first play-by-play fantasy football game where you must think like the players and coaches on the field as you predict the outcome of every play. Earn rewards as you compete against friends and fans across the country. BenchBoss is currently recruiting beta testers, and we need you. Visit benchboss.tv to learn more and sign up today.
All right, boys and girls, we are back. That was our friends at BenchBoss. Make sure you are checking them out at letstalkfantasyfootball.com/benchboss. Sign up for that beta. Vinny, we got 3 more games, and we're going to start with Dallas at Washington. So Dallas is a 2-point road favorite. The over-under, I fucked up this over-under again in the notes. It is not 24.75. It is 47.5.
There we go.
So we're looking at Josh Norman likely coming back for this game. That makes that secondary better. Dak Prescott's been unbelievable. Are you going to start him again this week against Washington?
He's so matchup proof, it's not even funny.
Yeah, he's like an every
People
week
should be
starter.
talking about Dak the way they're talking about Watson. Like, Dak is unbelievable week in, week out. He is fantastic. I love.
That's like the difference between people who are like riding a wave and people who are correct.
Yes, exactly. Like, dude, stop being high and like come down for like 2 seconds and realize what's going on. But yeah, Dak, oh man, he is becoming one of my favorite players in the National Football League. And like, I love him. I love Dak so much.
Yeah, he's a great play this week. He's a great play every week. That being said, I don't know how much I like the specific targets just because of the volume that goes around to him. With Norman potentially coming back, what do you think of Dez? And then I guess Witten would be the next one. But yeah.
So Washington's pretty beatable from a tight end perspective. So I think Witten you can stream. I think that's fine. I think I'd do him over Nick O'Leary.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then this could also be an interesting game for like Cole Beasley because Washington is pretty beatable like over the middle, as I said. So this could be like, you don't want to ever play Cole Beasley, but with the bye weeks and shit, you might have to, and you can do worse. So this could be one of those weird ones where he has like 2 touchdowns and 56 yards. It could be one of those weird ones, especially with Dez on the outside. I don't love Dez with the matchup, but you cannot sit Dez at all, especially since like, Norman will be out there, but how healthy is he? He's going to be playing. He's going to be playing with like, still broken ribs and stuff. And Dez has been, highly targeted this year, he is going to break the fuck out. If you can trade for Dez, just keep doing it. Because when Dez gets targets, he is a complete monster. So that is just a little nugget of information from my perspective. I also just love Dez a lot, but the matchup's not great, but I think you roll pretty much everyone I just said. Is that pretty much a start everyone almost?
I mean, it's a start Witten and Dez for sure.
Yeah. The Cole Beasley gamble is kind of not you shouldn't do that.
I don't know if I would be in on Beasley as much. But let's move. I mean, and then Zeke, you're starting fucking Zeke every single week, obviously.
And then the trial is the day after this game?
Right. So maybe pick up Alfred Morris or Darren McFadden. Who knows?
They're gone, dude. They're gone.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, let's move to the Washington side of the ball. So We have Cousins there. Terrell Pryor is apparently not there. And are you playing like a Josh Doxson or are you playing a Jamison Crowder? I don't know what the fuck to make of this offense. Jordan Reed got a touchdown this past week.
Two touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Sorry.
2, count them, 2. Dude, Crowder, no. Oh man, what a bummer he has been. We were very high on him. I think all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just really that has not panned out to anything. And it's not so much, I mean, he has played poorly and like fumbled punts and stuff like that, but the way they spread the ball around, as you alluded to, is just, it's so good for their football team and not good for fantasy whatsoever. But the latest news is that Doxson will be like the X receiver, which is the main receiver in the offense, not since Pryor has sucked. So he's going to get his chance and couldn't have come at a better time, dude. The Cowboys suck at defending, against the receiver. So
are you going to play him?
I would. I think I would. But
that's ballsy, man.
It is. It's ballsy as shit. But like, are you thinking like Pryor could also have like this breakout too? Are you worried about that, or you just don't like the situation?
I just don't like the situation. I think Doxson should be owned in every possible league. I don't think I would play him this week. I don't think you can. I don't think you can play any pass catcher besides Jordan Reed and Chris Thompson, because I guess he counts as that in Washington's offense.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
I think those are the only 2 skill guys that you can play is Jordan Reed and Chris Thompson.
You are right. But I'm just trying to pick out like it's a great matchup play on a sketchy bye week with 6 teams. So if you pick, like I would imagine he got picked up this week or you've had him for like a week or 2, this would be the time to do it. I mean, they're talking him up. You could also just get totally bummed out, but
it's like an ultimate play. Yeah.
It really is.
And like it could end up with like 2 touchdowns and 97 yards, like for all I know. It
could be week winning or week crushing because dude, they could like. And what did fucking Gruden say? He said we're going to go with the hot hand between Pryor and
that
Doxson.
Receiver.
Yeah,
hot hand's the shit that makes you pissed about running backs. Hot hand about receiver is like, I want you like gone. And I mean, like, I love Gruden and whatever, but like,
no, he sucks, dude. He is.
You cannot like, you can't tell me you're going to go with the hot hand at receiver.
Yeah,
if the hot hand at receiver case was true, Bryce Butler would be in on every single play.
Yeah, man.
But anyway.
Like we threw it to him 20 times. He was the hot hand. You forced those targets, dude. Do you not know what that is?
Such a weird thing to say, but anyway.
I think he just fucked up and said we want to go with like who's hot right now, and just kind of said we'll go with the hot hand. He's such an ass. I don't like
man. I'm going to take Dallas.
Yeah, me too. I think they're going to win.
All right, Pittsburgh at Detroit. I was kind of surprised Pittsburgh is a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. The big news, 2 sides of big news. Martavis Bryant not going to fucking play. Juju Smith-Schuster in the concussion protocol, but likely to play. And then Golden Tate also might not play. We'll see on that.
Golden Tate is it's trending in the right direction that he will.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Which is crazy because it was literally like Wednesday and they were like, all right, he's in a sling, he's out. And then he practiced full or limited on Thursday. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's going to play. So
interesting. Yeah,
really muddles that situation because I was kind of one of those people who has had Marvin Jones sitting on their bench because I'm stupid.
Shot Marvin in the face?
Shot Marvin in the face and bringing him to the garage to clean it up. I only got one good week out of that against the Saints, and that was a gamble-ass play. And this was leading to be one of those, like, man, the matchup is terrible, but he's going to get, like, 14 targets kind of play. Now, being the Sunday night game, Golden Tate, play or not, like, he's trending in the right direction. You don't want to gamble on Marvin Jones or Golden Tate, I think. Really, any of the pass catchers against this Pittsburgh defense anyway. So
no, Pittsburgh's been pretty good on defense.
Borderline the best.
Is Abdullah the only real play on Detroit?
I think you can get away with playing Abdullah and Riddick. Well, listen.
I'm jilted by Riddick, man.
I know. Let me try and see if I can break through Walsh.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You don't even need to be able to
me. Yeah. The wide receivers are not going to do shit. It's going to be really tough. Like maybe if Tate is fully healthy and active, like going over the middle and stuff, playing the slot exclusively, maybe he'll have a good game. But you're going to have to depend on Riddick at some point in this game. They're going to be down, I got to imagine. So I like Riddick as, another one of these bye week panic things. And he might be on your waiver wire too, actually. So if you want to spot him, do it. Well, he got picked up, man. You fucked up. No, that was a good move. He's been terrible, but the game script is good for him this week.
I have no rational opinions on Theo Riddick, so don't even talk to me about him. I've been so up and so down and so up and so down on him. Pittsburgh side of the ball, I think you're playing Bell, you're playing Bryant, you're maybe playing Juju, but probably not. Sorry, not Bryant, Bell Brown.
Okay, yeah, Bell Brown.
Stupid, dumb asshole.
You're not playing Juju, man? I think you have to in our league.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to in our league because, like you said, I have to.
You're total force play. I think he could do worse. I think he's going to have a good outing. Like, this is good. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he functions as the number 2. Let's put it that way.
I mean, if he gets like 80% of snaps, I think he'll be fine, but we'll see.
Agreed.
Who you got in this game?
Man. I want to pick the Lions, but I cannot. So I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I'm going to take the Steelers too. Yeah. Last game of the week, Denver at Kansas City. Denver, I think, has one play, and it's Demaryius Thomas.
No CJ Love, dude?
Not at all, man. 7-point dog?
No Charles Love, dude?
Kansas City's a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 43. I'm on Demaryius, and that's it. Maybe Benny Fowler at the next one.
The fuck out of here with that. Benny. Ugh. But I do agree with the Thomas play for sure. I can't believe you're not in on any of the running backs.
None of them.
Wow. Dude, Kansas City gives up like 143 yards a game to the running back.
I think they're going to be down as shit, though. Like they're going to be really down.
It's divisional, which is why I'm like, oh, something weird will happen. And since Denver's been on like that 2-game slide, I'm thinking like this would be the time, since the NFL is dumb as shit, that they would correct it against Kansas City, who's also on a 2-game slide.
Right.
So I think it leans in the more desperate team, who would definitely be Denver right now. They got something to prove. So going into
CJ that you're going with then?
It would be, and I'm also biased because I own a lot of stock in CJ, but I hope that makes sense. Like that they're like Kansas City gives up a ton of yardage to the running back, and the only game that Kansas City lost was against. I fucked that up. They give up so many yards to the running back. I just think CJ's had like 2 bad games, and I think they're gonna try and pound the rock against them early and see if that game script can lean that way. And I think the defense will be better against Kansas City because they haven't been exposed, Kansas City, but they've been, kind of slowing down a bit in terms of like what Alex Smith has been able to do.
Their defense has kind of sucked.
Kansas City?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I meant Denver's defense will step it up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I think Kansas City's just defense is beatable. That's why I like Thomas as a play. If Sanders goes, you want to play him. Benny didn't do anything last week, so I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that against like Kansas City gets beat, but they have better corners. So I'm not. I don't know. What's your rationale for Benny?
I don't have one really. I mean, Kansas City's bad in the slot. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's Phillip Gaines in the slot. He's been getting toasted all year, so that's kind of my thinking there. But I'm not like a firm Benny person or anything like that.
And then you have zero love for the Charles revenge game.
No love at all for the Charles revenge game.
Yeah, I'm very out on that too, which sucks because I like Charles.
So I think the question for KC then is, do you start Alex Smith?
I wouldn't. I think it's kind of one of those situations that we were talking about Watson, like a guy who's been on complete fire. And it's so hard to convince yourself that it's a bad play because you've been just letting it ride. I would take him out for like Dalton. I would take him out for Carr.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I'm kind of rolling, especially on like, it feels like a trap game to me. That's why I'm so nervous for Kansas City. Like, I think I don't know, like Denver's underestimated now and they still have a great team. So I'm very worried for Kansas City. Although I think, Kareem Hunt obviously play, Tyreek Hill, of course you play him. Kelsey, of course you play him. But Smith, I think you can sit.
Yeah, KC's pretty easy. It's those three guys you mentioned, and I think you can sit Smith this week. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. KC is like the easiest team in the league to fucking go through.
They have their guys and they use them.
Who do I play? You play Hunt, Kelsey, and fucking Hill, and that's it. That's it. But yeah, I'm taking KC here.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos upset.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. That'll I think do it. You got anything else for the listeners, Vinny?
That's it. Hang in there, guys. We're now approaching the back end of the regular season of the fantasy schedule, and then making that playoff push or crawl out of the bottom if you're me. So hang in there, get it done. I think trade deadlines are coming up, so I'm sure we'll get even more questions about stuff like that and rest of seasons, guys. So we'll try to mention that more on the podcast and stuff like that, and we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll get the recap up. We'll rock one on Tuesday.
We'll be back in full force this next week, I would think. But yeah, for Vinny, I am Walsh. We apologize for getting this out to you guys so late, but hopefully it was at least a little bit useful to you. Yeah, that's about all I got. So later podcast.
This has been Let's Talk Fantasy Football. Thanks for listening.